Hi, welcome. Here's your HMH lesson for today. This is HMH lesson 8.6. We are going to be reading The Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. You will need the Characters Reading Graphic Organizer 24. It looks like this. It is located inside in your reading packet, okay? This story is not in your HMH book. You will not find it in your HMH book. We're going to be reading it online together and talking about the different characters in their traits. So we've kind of talked about characters and traits before, internal traits and external traits. Before we start reading, let's talk a little bit about, about vocabulary, important vocabulary words we're going to have to know. So the first one is cleared. Cleared. So looking at our vocabulary cards, cleared, there is a car with the windshield wipers on trying to clear the window or the windshield so they can see through it. So cleared, if you cleared something, it went away. So they're trying to get the mud to go away, right? Longed. Here the girl looks outside and she looks like she longed for something. If you longed to do something, you wanted to do it very much. So she longed to play outside. Why do you guys think she can't play outside? Because it's raining. Very good. The next one is remained. Remained. Here it looks like icicles or snow on a tree. If something remained a certain way, it stayed the same. It didn't change. It remained the same. The next one is faithful. This dog looks like he's faithful to his owner. When you are faithful, you do things that show you care deeply about something. So she cares deeply about her and she cares just as deeply about him. They're faithful. They care about each other. I think it's just that. Let me see. Yeah, no, one more. Seeking. Seeking. Here it looks like the kid is seeking what is under his bed. When you are seeking something, you are trying to find it. I am seeking for my toy. He's looking for something, right? He is seeking the lost sock in this image. All right, and we're going to stop there. We'll do swipe for the next story. So let's read The Legends of the Indian Paintbrush. Retold and illustrated by Tommy DiPaolo.
Retold and illustrated by Tommy DiPaolo.
DiPaolo. My bad. All right.
The Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. Retold and illustrated by Tommy DiPaolo. Many years ago, when the people traveled the plains and lived in a circle of teepees, there was a boy who was smaller than the rest of the children in the tribe. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't keep up with the other boys who were always riding, running, shooting their bows, and wrestling to prove their strength. Sometimes his mother and father worried for him.
Why did his mother and father worry for him, Rena? Good, he can't catch up with them because he's small, right?
But the boy, who was called Little Gopher, was not without a gift of his own. From an early age, he made toy warriors from scraps of leather and pieces of wood, and he loved to decorate smooth stones with the red juices from berries he found in the hills. The wise shaman of the tribe understood that Little Gopher had a gift that was special. Do not struggle, Little Gopher. Your path will not be the same as the others. They will grow up to be warriors. Your place among the people will be remembered for a different reason.
So the first character they introduced us to was the little boy, and the little boy's name was Little Gopher. So we're going to write his name down here where it says character name. His name was Little Gopher. And we forgot to write the title down. So I'm going to go back and show you guys the title so you can write the title down. The Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. You can go ahead and pause, go ahead and write the video down, write the title down, and I'm going to pause the video now. Okay, now that you went back and wrote the title, and you wrote the character's name, Little Gopher, let's talk about his internal traits. So he did not, he was small, right? That's his external traits. He was small. Let's write that down here. Small. So he could not ride on the horses, and he did not play like the other boys did. They were really tough. They threw arrows at each other. They rode horses. And he was small. He didn't like to do any of that stuff. But what did he like to do? What was his internal traits? Yes, JC? He liked to make things. He was an artist, so he liked to make things. He liked to make things. He liked art. He liked to make things. He liked to make things. He liked art. Let's write both of those down. Okay, let's see how he's going to respond to something that's going to happen in his life. Let's see what's going to happen. Because the chief told him that you're most likely you're not going to be like the other boys will. The other boys are going to grow up and be warriors. You're going to be remembered differently. So let's see why.
And in a few years, when Little Gopher was older, he went out to the hills alone to think about
Sorry, for some reason I wasn't reading the right page. Let's try that again.
And in a few...
Where does it say that? Oh, it says it right here. My bad.
Years, when Little Gopher was older, he went out to the hills alone to think about becoming a man, for this was the custom of the tribe. And it was there that a dream vision came to him, the sky filled with clouds, and out of them came a young Indian maiden and an old grandfather. She carried a rolled-up animal skin, and he carried a brush made of fine animal hairs and pots of paints. The grandfather spoke. "My son, these are the tools by which you shall become great among your people. You will paint pictures of the deeds of the warriors and the visions of the shaman, and the people shall see them and remember them forever." The maiden unrolled a pure white buckskin and placed it on the ground. "Find a buckskin as white as this," she told him. "Keep it, and one day you will paint a picture that is as pure as the colors in the evening sky."
So what did the maiden and the older man tell him? What did they tell him? That he should paint. He should paint the deeds of the warriors, and he should paint visions of the shaman. I'm not sure what that means, but I guess we're going to find out.
And as she finished speaking, the clouds cleared and a sunset of great beauty filled the sky. Little Gopher looked at the white buckskin, and on it he saw colors as bright and beautiful as those made by the setting sun.
So what are they trying to tell him? He's going to be known to be a what? An artist or a painter. And a painter is an artist, right?
Then the sun slowly sank behind the hills, the sky grew dark, and the dream vision was over. Little Gopher returned to the circle of the people. The next day, he began to make soft brushes from the hairs of different animals and stiff brushes from the hair of the horses' tails. He gathered berries and flowers and rocks of different colors and crushed them to make his paints.
Why do you guys think he made brushes of different kind of hair? Yes? Yes, but why do you think that he didn't just make them all from the same kind of hair? Like they, very good, because it must have different textures. The stiff one probably paints, just from experience, the stiff brush probably paints darker, and the lighter or the less coarse brush paints lighter. So he's making all of this material so he can become a good what? Artist or a painter. He collected the skins of animals which the warriors brought home from their hunts. He stretched the skins on wooden frames and pulled them until they were tight. What does this kind of look like now? This is the paper and this is the paintbrush. Wow, and he began to paint pictures of great hunters. Look, and he's drawing pictures of the hunters and the warriors, just like the lady in the dream told him to, right? Of great dream visions, so that the people would always remember. So this is the great deeds. So he drew pictures of the great deeds. I guess that means the good things that people did. And the great dream vision, so that the people would always remember. So how did he respond to this talent that he was given? What did he end up doing? He ended up painting the good deeds and the great dream visions. Let's write that down. He painted the good deeds deeds is D-E-E-D-S. He painted the good deeds and visions. Visions is like things they think will happen, or what they want to try to happen, like a vision they have for the future. So he painted the good deeds and visions. And he was a good painter, wasn't he? He was a great artist. He was a great artist. All right, you can pause the video now to write this down. Okay, let's keep going.
But even as he painted, Little Gopher sometimes longed to put aside his brushes and ride out with the warriors. But always he remembered his dream vision, and he did not go with them.
What was his dream vision? Leah? Very good. His dream vision was when those people came to him and told him what he was going to do with his life and how he was going to be a good artist. Now, was he super content and happy with that, and he was just going to live that way? Really? It said he longed to put aside his brushes and ride out with the warriors. He wanted to be out there with the warriors. He really wanted to still, right? Let's see if he will.
Many months ago, he had found his pure white buckskin, but it remained empty because he could not find the colors of the sunset. He used the brightest flowers, the reddest berries, and the deepest purples from the rocks, and still his paintings never satisfied him. They looked dull and dark.
Why do you think they looked dull and dark? He was never satisfied with them. JC? Okay, but why else? Yes? And Mariah?